Hello. One of the two assignments this week is dividing polynomials by just x. Now, if you notice, the numerator has three terms, and all the three terms have at least one x in common. And then you look at the divisor. The divisor is just 1x. So our goal here is to divide the top by the bottom, and we're going to factor out that 1x. So if you take the first term, 2x to the third, and I divide out, or I factor out 1x, I'm left with 2 times x to the second power, because the third x was divided out. Now, if we look at the second term, negative 5x squared, if I divide one of the two x's, I'm left with negative 5 and 1x. And then last but not least, we take a look at the last term, but let's just keep in mind that when you see an x and you don't see an exponent, we know the exponent is 1. And when we don't see a coefficient, we also know that the coefficient is 1. It's the invisible 1. So when we factor out, or we divide out an x, we're left with just the coefficient of 1. So it's plus 1. The bottom, we still have x. Now, once we do that, we are left with two factors on top. The first factor is x, and the second factor is this whole thing here in the parentheses. But notice I have x on top and x in the bottom, and when I divide any number by itself, I get 1. 1 times the factor, and we know that 1 times that number is just that number. That's your answer. In class, we learn how to divide using long division and synthetic division, but using the GCF method, where we factor out the greatest common factor, in this case, will be the faster way of doing it, because we're only dividing by x and we're factoring out 1x. And that's why it works. Thanks.